So we've talked about China, we've talked about Iran. They're both threats. They both want to see President Trump out of office.
Oh, without a doubt.
So what role might they try and play in the 2020 election?
Well, I think that what you see right now is, well, China has a long ball strategy. And China's going to try to hold out as long as they possibly can, with the hope of believing that President Trump can be defeated in November 2020.
I don't think the Chinese regime could withstand 4 more years of Donald Trump.
No,
they can't. I don't think their
can't.
economy would last.
And that's why you will see exactly what the Iranians did when Reagan won that election. If President Trump wins re-election, the Chinese are going to come to the table and say, hey, no mas, whatever you want, let's do it. But right now, 2 years in China is nothing. That's just like tomorrow. And the Iranians are trying to kick up things because they want to try to embarrass the president, because they know that the Democrats will try to use this and leverage it as, the warmonger. He's starting a nuclear war, which is what we heard all of those candidates say in the last, we should go back to the Iranian agreement. We would not have all these problems with Iran. If you go back to the Iranian agreement, you're just kicking the can down the road. They're still going to have that nuclear.
And it's not very far down the road because they're very close to developing that nuclear weapon.
Absolutely. So yeah, they're watching, they're paying attention.
So what might they be doing? I have concerns that there's Chinese money funding the Democratic Socialists of America. I don't know that, I can't prove it, but we know now KGB documents got out, they were funding radical leftist groups, the KGB was, and if you read the book on restricted warfare, there's no doubt that that's in the game plan.
Of course.
So I'm very concerned that they're funding some of these radical elements, Antifa and others. Is that possible?
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, there's a means, and I think, again, that's why you should declare a group like Antifa a domestic terrorist group and go after any funding sources or support sources whatsoever. But also, we have to start looking at, what type of groups can Iran influence here in the United States of America as well to try to support, the other side, because it is to their benefit, and we have to clearly understand that. So I think that one of the key things that the president should be running on in 2020 is that, hey, look, here are the people that don't want to see me in the White House.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to side with Nicolas Maduro? Do you want to side with Xi Jinping? Do you want to side with the Ayatollah and Hassan Rouhani? I mean, make that a clear distinction as we go into this election in November.
But every single one of those would want a Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez back candidate.
Of course they would.
Everyone would want a Bernie Sanders or a Kamala Harris.
That's exactly what you have to do. You have to make this such a clear-cut choice for our economic security, energy security, and national security.
Well, one of those candidates is Elizabeth Warren. And she just said recently, put out a full paper on why there's coming economic crash. Now, as somebody that studies the stock market and the economy for all of my career, she doesn't make an extremely strong case, but she makes a case, and what it sounds like to me is a money manager that's bearish on the market that wants to win, and so he puts out a case for what's going to go wrong in the economy. And it sounds like she's trying to set herself up for a collapse in the economy to propel her into the White House.
Well, I mean, occasionally I sit down and look at Bill Maher, and one of the things that he said, he was hoping for the economy to fail so that President Trump would not get reelected. And that's exactly what they're doing. All of these people that are sitting around and trying to poke holes. When you just recently, I think European Bank or someone, European Community Bank just said the United States economy is going to increase even further, even better. But you don't hear that being reported. So the doomsday prophets have to come out there and say that it's not going to last forever. And even though the stock market is doing well, and even though all the wage growth, it's not affecting you. Because what are they going to offer? They're going to offer us to go back and have 7 million people go back on food stamps. We're going to go back to 1.3 GDP growth. I mean,
a downturn that ushers in socialists is the end of the republic.
It is the end of the republic.
It's a really scary thing. Here's the thing: there's 100% correlation between the party in the White House losing in the midst of an economic and stock market crash. If that crash happens within 12 months of the election,
George W. Bush.
It's 100%. 100% the party in power loses. China's aware of this.